Hi y'all, Vanakkam. Welcome to another brand new episode of Akila's Voyage Untold. Today it's going to be a brand new video of my channel which I haven't done before. I have a person next to me in today's video. Yes, you can call him intellectual, but I feel he's an encyclopedia. Yes, you throw a question at him, you will definitely get an answer. The thirst for knowledge, for reading every day, for gaining something or the other is never stopped according to him, because I have been beside him since the time I was born. I'm very happy to welcome Mr. P. Manokaran. There are a lot of things for me to say, so I'm going to read out for you guys because there is so much that I cannot remember everything. So, qualification MSc AII. Prior to joining the New India Assurance Company Limited, worked as an auditor in Local Fund Audit Office, Bangalore, and as a clerk in Bank of Maharashtra. Joined GIC as a direct recruit officer in 1978. First batch direct recruit officer. After 1 year intense training at College of Insurance, was allotted to the New India Assurance Company Limited and posted in Ahmedabad, DO. After 6 years, was transferred to Madras Regional Office. In the year 1996, was posted to Head Office, MMATD, in charge. Incidentally, he was the last manager, Scale V. 6 months later, he was again transferred. That time, it was tied to MRO3, Regional Office, it means. Then he requested the management to transfer him to Chennai. Instead, he was sent to Bangalore Regional Office. In June 1997, then CMD assigned him a job in Chennai Regional Office. 5 years later, he was shifted again to Head Office. And finally, in 2004, he became in charge of MRO1. Then he completed his service in October 2010. So this was the information he gave me, so I'm sharing it with you guys. He is none other than my father. I'm very happy in welcoming him in this conversation with Akila in Voyage Untold, Budget 2022. Let the conversation begin. All heard about the person whom I'm going to interview today in the introduction. He is here right next to me, my father. So Appa, thank you so much and welcome to my channel. And thank you so much for the time you have given me today. It's really my pleasure in interviewing today on this wonderful topic. So all of them know like in what topic I'm going to interview today. So you have something to say about this?
Yeah, this Indian budget, it attracts attention of people globally. In that respect, in fact, the finance minister's budget speech was telecast live in several countries.
Okay.
And people have watched her speech. So that way, it has gained a lot of importance. That is it about budget. Indian
Okay.
budget.
So now I have few questions with me so that it will be useful for the lay person who is watching this show. So I want everybody to understand what this budget is all about, right from a small children to any adult who is watching this should understand what budget is all about. So my first question to you, Appa, why is budget so important? How does it affect or benefit each of us?
First of all, what is a budget? Budget is nothing but submission of financial accounts. You know, by taxing services and manufacturing sectors,
Okay.
government generates revenue. The revenue so collected has to be spent for various purposes. So it follows a definite pattern. The country, the financial experts know how much money is going to be generated in the forthcoming year. How the revenue collection has to be appropriated and how it has to be spent, how certain sectors have to be allocated more funds, where certain allocations have to be reduced, etc. These are discussed in the budget proposal.
Okay.
This practice was introduced in India in the year 1860.
Okay.
The first Indian budget was presented by William Johnson in the year 1860.
Okay.
He was a Scottish economist. He presented this to the king, monarch, I think Henry VI or Henry VII.
Okay.
In the first independent India budget was presented by Mr. R.K. Shanmugam.
Okay.
In those days, budget presentation used to happen in the last week of November every year,
Okay.
because the budget will be approved in the Parliament, Indian Parliament, and the budget proposals become effective from 1st January. In those days, financial year used to coincide with calendar year, that is from 1st January to 31st December.
Okay.
But in the 80s, the practice was changed to suit Indian economy. India is dependent on monsoon rains, success or failure. And if we get bountiful monsoon rains, it helps the agricultural sector.
Okay.
Therefore, it was decided to have the financial year from 1st April of a particular year to 31st March of the following year. And therefore, the budget date was changed from late November to last day of February every year.
Okay.
In those days, the budget used to be presented at about 5 o'clock. Why? Because that was the time when it will be around 10:30, 11 in England.
Oh.
So the queen sitting over there should know what is happening in her countries, the countries which were coming under her control.
Oh.
That practice continued for a very long time. It was decided to change the timing from evening 5:30 to morning 11 o'clock.
Okay.
I think it was Mr. Yashwant Sinha who first changed the time from evening 5:30 to 11 in the morning. That was further changed to first working day was 1st of February every year. This practice started only about 5 years before.
Oh.
So therefore, Finance Minister Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman presented the budget proposal on 1st February this year, 2022.
Okay.
And it is only her proposal. The proposal allocating funds to various sectors to benefit common man, industrial sector, working class, defense, and various other sections of the
Sectors.
society.
Okay. So that was.
And that will be discussed, all the proposals will be discussed. And I think the budget session is continuing up to 11th of this month.
Oh.
And there will be a gap of about 1 month. Parliament will be once again convened in the month of March, and that will continue up to late March. And once the budget proposal is approved with or without amendment, it becomes effective from 1st April next year.
Okay. Okay. So that was really well explained. So next, my next question is, do you think budget is so important that it should be taught to each of us right from school?
Definitely, as I said, the budget proposal has intention to allocate funds. Every year, certain departments will gain importance, in the sense a particular department may get lesser allocation this year, but it will be more in the following year. And in this way, it happens. The education department, for example,
Okay.
what are the allocation for education has to be seen with a lot of interest by students and teaching staff and all those who are involved in running educational institutions. They will come to know what kind of funds are allocated for infrastructure development in education, and what changes government wants to be introduced so that our country becomes modern and the education systems becomes on par with international standards. That way, every sector has to keenly watch what are the allocation for their own department.
Oh, okay. Okay, my next question is, how is agriculture and food processing this year?
As I said, agricultural India is an agro-based country.
Okay.
So the maximum revenue generated in our country is through agriculture.
Okay.
And in the recent past, people are going away from agriculture. It is not a good sign.
Yeah.
Therefore, the government has given lot of attractive schemes this year. Ever since we got independence, our country is getting revenue from agriculture, and it is not taxed. It is a tax-free income. Any amount generated out of agricultural activity is free from income tax. This year, in order to modernize agricultural sector, the finance minister said that drone technology will be used.
Oh.
And we will discuss that drone technology
Okay.
as we proceed further.
Okay. Okay. So my next question is on education, but I think you have already elaborated on that. So I'll move on to the next question. So for the past few years, I mean since 2020, the most focused department is health department. So how is health likely in this budget featured?
The pandemic situation, which started in late 2019, has thrown away all the calculations of the finance minister. in the year 1920, 2021, and it is continuing even up to 21, 22. The pandemic situation and the steps taken by the government subsequent to that has resulted in most of the industries closing down, and there was no industrial activity at all. India has become the largest exporter of vaccines, and that speaks.
The health as whole. Okay, so what is welfare focus? Because I saw this topic somewhere in the budget, which I saw in newspaper or something. I was not sure what this is all about. Can you explain on that?
Welfare sector is one sector which will continue to exist in this country. The free ration is given to below poverty line people, BPL families, and that will continue to get government's focus for the so many years to come.
So, how are investments seen in this budget?
Investment is very important for the development of our country.
Okay.
FDI, that is foreign direct investments,
Okay.
has shown a steady increase, and I hope that this year also it will see a positive sign.
Okay.
Besides getting foreign exchange, the country also gets the latest technology. Why a foreign investor is interested in coming to India? It is because of the liberal licensing policy of the government, number one. The 1/3 of India's population is young generation. They are all well qualified, English knowing, and willing to work. Therefore, the foreign investors show a lot of importance and they come here.
Okay.
So government also wants the practice to continue. That is why Prime Minister has announced Make in India scheme. And Make in India is also attracting a lot of interest from foreigners. You can see a lot of products in the market showing that Make in India
Correct.
symbol.
Correct. Okay. So, tax proposals. What do you have to say on this?
I am very happy that the tax has not been increased. And every year, people who used to listen to the finance minister's tax proposal will be in tension because what additional tax is going to come is their concern. This time, luckily, there is no increase in tax proposals. What is a little bit disappointing to me is I am an income tax assessee. I thought there will be some relief in tax,
Okay.
but there is no relief for a person like me. But it's all right. How many people file income tax return in this country? We have a population of around 140 crores, but number of persons filing ITR is
It's a big question.
hardly 4.48 crores. It works out to around 3%. As compared to in UK, it's more than 50%. And what is the difference you find in India and in England? In a place like UK, there the infrastructure is very good, roads are good, the systems are good, and it comes, the more people paying tax means the funds generated, revenue generated is going to flow back to the society in the form of efficient infrastructure.
Perfect.
And therefore, by retaining the tax rates in the same manner, it is expected that more people will come in the tax bracket.
Oh,
And for corporate tax, the rate has been reduced by about 5%, and that these proposals have been welcomed by the industry, as reflected in the Bombay Stock Exchange Index, showing positive signs for 2 days. Of course, there was a negative performance for one day, and I find that the market will bounce back in the next few days.
okay.
So that way, the proposal is a welcome one. And another thing, no finance minister has ever satisfied all sections. There has to be plus and minus. The finance minister does only a balancing act.
Oh,
She doesn't have a magic wand with which all sectors can be satisfied.
correct. So this is one of the very interesting question. So the question is about bitcoins. So what is your view on this bitcoins? And you think that's going to be the Indian currency, or that's going to be the future of currency? I have no idea on this. Can you explain to me on that?
It's nothing but virtual economy.
Okay.
It is existing in so many developed countries.
Okay.
In fact, in India also, virtual economy is existing. You know, the share market is already in demat format. Commodities are in demat. You can trade in commodities like oil, pulses, food grains, steel, etc. in this commodities market virtually even today.
Okay.
And in this way, currency is also is existing in virtual market. In India, it is one of the Indians have in a large number, they have already invested in virtual money.
Okay.
People make lot of money, and at the same time they lose heavily also, because this virtual economy fluctuates. Value of virtual money fluctuates always, constantly it is fluctuating. So there may be appreciation, or there may be a steep fall, and people make money or lose money. Till today, there is no regulation in India. Several countries have banned virtual money.
Okay.
In India, they kept silent for such a long time, But this time it's a healthy thing that the Reserve Bank will launch virtual money. That is the announcement made.
Oh,
The details no one knows.
okay.
But thing is, at the time of investment, there will be a TDS of 1%, and when you can convert that virtual money into real money. At that time, when you take out the money from virtual account, there will be a tax of 30%.
Okay.
So, if you have invested rupees 1 crore, and tomorrow, if the value is, let us say, 80 lakhs, and you want to withdraw the entire money, you have to shell out 30%.
30%.
And it may be 1 crore today, and 1 month later it may be 2 crores. When you withdraw the entire money, shell out 30%. That is how it is going to be.
Okay.
But that 30% is a standard rate prevailing in India. Lottery money and horse racing money gained in horse racing, etc.
Okay.
Even now it attracts 30% tax. So this 30% is not new to this country.
Okay. So I have asked you all the questions that I had in my mind. So just quickly sum up budget 2022 to 2023. How is it going to be?
It's very difficult, for the country to reach that, especially because of the last 2 years pandemic situation. In fact, the country recently has reached 2019 level. Country has lost 2 precious years, and it has to grow at a galloping speed.
Thank you so much, guys. I hope this episode was a little useful for you guys. And it was informative too, because I learned a lot about budget. If you guys want me to do something else in my channel, be it conversation or chat with some celebrity or whatever topic you think it's going to be little informative and useful, please let me know. And please like, share and comment below and subscribe to my channel. Be kind to one another. I'm signing off now. Until then, sayonara.